Hello and welcome to the first in a trilogy of video logs that Steve Ingall, Head of Business Services at iCore, will be delivering this month. Steve has been in service delivery for over 35 years, holding a variety of positions in public and private sector organisations. Over the last 10 years, he's been advocating the need for service delivery to look at ways to become more aligned with business needs. In today's video log, Steve will talk about Agile, what it is, why do it, and how to go about it.
Hi, thanks Zoe. I suppose what we should really do is start with the $64 million question, what is Agile? Actually, what I'm going to start with is by saying what it's not. It's not DevOps and it's not just about software engineering. Actually, Agile is a project management methodology that originated around 2006 and was really brought in as a simplification for speeding up the software delivery lifecycle. It's moved away from the traditional way of working and has introduced some new approaches to delivering projects like Scrum and Kanban and all the things that come with those new disciplines. There are some great online YouTube videos that you can watch, and I'd particularly recommend the one from Spotify on how they've gone about introducing their tribes, squads, chapters and guilds. With the Agile, you get the Agile Manifesto, where we try to move away from being held back by processes and tools and start to look at the individuals and the interactions between the teams. It's about getting working software out there rather than looking at comprehensive documentation that never gets used. It's also about customer collaboration and using that over getting contract negotiations. And finally, in the manifesto, it's about responding to change. So it's about being flexible. With the Agile Manifesto, it's really driving customer satisfaction, but it's also driving ownership from the people who are working on those projects. It's about small, incremental, iterative delivery, new ways of working that really challenge the way that people think and have been thinking over the last 25, 30 years of delivering software. It has become a phenomenal movement, and really that's what Agile is. It's a movement. People are now starting to adopt it and they're starting to adapt it to the way that they want to work. It provides a real work cadence that pleases the business and also the delivery team. I know that all sounds a little bit tricky. So why should organizations be looking at Agile? Really, it's about survival. It's about the survival of the business, but mainly it's about the survival of the IT department. There's a speed and an urgency now to the way that businesses need to deliver things, and they really need the IT department to stand up and start accelerating the delivery of products, solutions and services. There's been an adoption of new technologies we're all aware of over the last 5-10 years, and that now needs to a leading edge of IT. It needs thought leadership. It needs people thinking outside of the box. And with the consumerization of what's going on in the digital industry, then people are just expecting this. There's no concern from their point of view as to how things are being delivered to them. There's a business productivity and a demand out there to be able to handle changing priorities and to be able to change quickly. I was once challenged by an organization to help them identify what the cost of a minute's downtime would be on their key systems. It was really difficult to do, but we managed to do it. And when I tell you that that was a card company, then working out what the cost of a minute's downtime when somebody in a pub can't use their card processing machine meant we had to really think outside of the box. Today, it's a board level conversation. I was in a meeting recently where it was raised by the board in the board meeting as to how secure, how quickly are we able to adapt, and how quickly will we be delivering products and services in the future. There's now more of a risk appetite within the business, and they're happy to accept a minimal viable product rather than waiting for the polished article to be ready if they've got to wait 6 months. The IT department can now start to show the value that they can add through visibility. Visibility of the development, visibility through the pace of change, and visibility by the fact that they're co-locating with the business. Perhaps it's the end of the IT department. Long live the IT department. Let's move on to how you can go about doing this. Hopefully that all sounds compelling. There's lots of lessons that can be learned in what goes on within the Agile world. There's many successes and many failures, and I've already identified there's a number of videos on YouTube that you can go and have a look at. First and foremost though, this needs to be seen as a business initiative and not an IT thing. The business and the developers need to work together. You can't introduce Agile without the business being involved in that. It's also about working face to face, being collaborative. It's not over sending instructions over email. But one thing that you really do need to get is you need to get that C-level sponsorship. They need to be bought into the change because there's going to have to be an investment. There's going to need to be a budget that supports this. And at a time when money's tight, that's got to be proven to be an investment to save. They may also have to accept that there may be some disruption during this period of change. The IT department itself is going to have to get used to the fact that it's got to work in two different ways, what Gartner would call their bimodal operation. But one thing that you do really have to remember is that the people matter. This is about management of change. It's about culture, it's about trust, it's about empowerment, and it's about autonomy. But never lose sight of the fact that every individual that is going to be impacted by this will be either in their head or out loud asking the question, what's in it for me? So it's therefore very important that you continually communicate what's going on, reporting on progress, and even sometimes just letting people know that you've got nothing to say because things are progressing, but there's just nothing that needs to be reported. I also think that this is one of those opportunities where you need to have a strong leader. You need to have someone who can give clear direction. It's not about managing now. You manage things, but you lead people. So it's about setting that clear direction and relentlessly keeping the mantra of Agile going. But don't expect it to be easy, and don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. So build on all your ITIL and your COBIT experience. Start to utilize Lean and DevOps where it's appropriate. Don't think that this is a journey that you'll be making on your own. There are people out there who can help you. So let's have a look at what you should start to think about doing next. I've already mentioned you need to get that business sponsorship to help with the investment. So start developing your business case. Start thinking about what your digital strategy is actually going to be. Agile is part of that digital strategy. You need to raise awareness in IT and in the business. So get people, the business, suppliers, and even some customers on the same page. Get them to understand what the journey is that you're about to embark on. You need some vision and you need some principles. But those vision and principles need to be fairly clear and direct. You don't want wishy-washy vision. It's we will be doing something or we will do something. Make it clear and make it actionable. You also need to make sure that you're ready to embark on the Agile journey. There are things that you could use, like the iCore blueprint for Agile service delivery, that will help you understand where you are today and where you need to get going. We can help with a roadmap as to what that direction needs to be. There is support out there and there are leaders out there who can come in and help you with this. So don't forget, it's about management of change. This is the first time when I've really been able to say that PDCA, plan, do, check, act, is really worth thinking through. But get started. Procrastination is the thief of time. But don't do too much research because by the time you get those findings, everything will have changed. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for that, Steve. I have a much better understanding of Agile now. So anyone who wants more information about Agile or more of our videos, then go to the iCore website at www.icore-ltd.com. The second video log from Steve will be on DevOps and will be available shortly. If you want to see all three, go to the Insights section of our website.